right, so I guess since it's 10:01, we should be right on the dot, and we can go ahead and get started. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tips and Tricks, the monthly Tips and Tricks session. This month, we're going to go over something we've not really spoken about a lot before, and it's Google My Business. And this is something that we encourage a lot of businesses, especially services, just pretty much any company in the area to have and start getting on. So Alice and I will kind of go through this and talk you guys through what this is. So essentially, the first question you may have is, what is Google My Business? And, in short, and Alison can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's essentially like a directory of businesses that Google has when people are searching for businesses like yours. So you know how when you go on Google and you type in restaurants near me, or I don't know, plumbers near me, you get your search results, but above your search results, you get a whole bunch of these like business cards or like business profiles. That is essentially what Google My Business is. So if we're looking here in this screenshot, I just did a simple search for restaurants near me, and I'm located up in Ames. So I'm just getting a bunch of restaurants that are here in Ames. So this is pretty much what it is. It gives people, a lot of information about your business. So just like in these restaurant profiles alone, you have, the dollar signs, the price range, you have the cuisine, you have the address, you have all these stipulations like, dine-in, curbside pickup, no delivery. It's all these informational points kind of at the fingertips of the user. I know I use this all the time when I'm on my phone and I'm, looking for a place to eat or looking for a particular service. That's the first thing I look at before I even scroll down to the search results right here. And Alison, do you have anything to add about what this is? Or
no, just I did want to clarify that it's primarily used for local search. So if you're searching for a certain area, you want to if you're willing to drive to say any park, any public park in Iowa, let's say, you'd want to go into that map on the right there and expand your search area, and then search again. Whereas this is going to pull from, I think it's city, like in the surrounding areas. So but yeah, I would just kind of echo what all Christian's saying. This is really like the first thing that people are going to see about your business when they Google it, short of your website. And it can be a really good, I would say, almost like an ambassador of your business. So people can get almost like the spark notes, because you go to your website and you've got your About Us page and your frequently asked questions, and you've got your, services and everything that you do. But your Google My Business profile is almost like taking all of that and then just condensing it and saying, like, what's the very meat of what this business does? And that's kind of what we use this for, is helping users find your business based on that information.
Yeah, exactly. And there are a couple of perks to having one, and a couple of reasons why you should have one, and there are reasons why we encourage people to have one. So there are a couple of reasons, not just three, but just these are the main ones you could think of. But there's so many reasons. I would say, it makes you far more discoverable to users in the area. When you have a fully fleshed out and fully optimized Google My Business profile, people are able to discover you because, like Alison said, it's based on local search. So when people, search up your business on their phones or on their computers, you pop up right there and all your information is right there. It's a lot more accessible than having someone click on your website and read through your About Us and comb through your website to find your contact us and whatnot. It gives you like a great access point to a particular user. It gives you almost full control of the business information that you have online. When there is information about your business online, you want to make sure that you're the one who has the reins for that. So if you change your business hours, if you change your address, if there are certain stipulations, if you guys are closed or open on a public federal holiday, you want this information to be within your control, and you want to be able to make these changes online. So that's something that's a pretty good perk as well, because you have the ability to change things as you like. sometimes when people don't own their business, when people don't own their Google My Business profile, they don't have access to changing their pictures and changing their images. So you kind of want full control of how your business looks like in the shop window when people are looking for you guys. And something that we found surprising is that we looked through a 2021 Google report, and it found that 60% of users visited businesses directly from Google My Business. So more people are actually going to your website or finding your business through Google My Business than they are your actual website. And this is, pretty much because your Google My Business profile will come up before the actual search results. So people are just more inclined to go with what's on top or what's already there, basically. So it's growing. It has grown a lot more. I know I personally default to Google My Business profiles because it's just easier. There's just a lot more information there. So it doesn't surprise me at all that more people are funneling through websites through the profiles.
Yeah, and I would also add to that, like you talked a little bit about it, and we'll talk about it more. But the full control. One of the things that I love about this is that it kind of blends user input, which would be things like reviews, or users can respond to questions that people ask. Users can upload photos, things like that. If you ever used Yelp, there's like a feature kind of like that, where you can write reviews, you can answer questions that sometimes you might check in at a business and they'll say, oh, did they have a handicap accessible entrance, or did they have that's a gender neutral bathroom? There's all kinds of things that they're asking these days. Did this business have X, Y, and Z? And then the users can respond yes or no. And it blends this user information with what you put out, if you've claimed your business, and we'll get into why that's so important in a second. But it really, I think, becomes very trustworthy because you have the business saying, well, here's what we want to say about who we are and what we do. And then it also allows it builds trust with the user, because that everything that's there, a user has really either confirmed or denied that through input. And one issue actually that we run into sometimes is that Google will ask someone, does this hair salon do roofing? And they are just trying to get through the questions and get to whatever they're looking at on their phone. They'll go, yeah, they do roofing, whatever. Well, this hair salon doesn't do roofing, And so then when you go into your business, when you're kind of managing it, it'll say, hey, someone said that you do roofing. And so we added that to your services that you offer on this profile. And we have to kind of go in there and go, oh, no, we don't do that. And you can, decline it. But that's why it's really important to have to be paying attention to this, because it's not uncommon for people to get phone calls saying, hey, I saw that you guys do this. And they go, where did you see that? Oh, well, it was on your Google My Business, because someone, just said it, or they reviewed the wrong business, or somehow the wires got crossed in this blend of user input and the business input. And so it's important to just kind of have your eyes on this at all times, if possible. So at all times, that sounds very dire. I mean, periodically,
Sure.
As part of good marketing hygiene, I would say. Anyways, that's all I had to add to that slide, Christian.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll get into how to actually set one up and how to claim one. This won't be an exhaustive tutorial, because that involves finding a business to claim, and we don't have a business lying around to claim. So I'll just go through just the basic steps here. So you want to go to your browser once this actually complies with me, and you want to come to this page. So this page is just Google My Business. You want to go on Google. Let's just start on Google. That's probably the easiest place to start. You want to just go to Google and type in Google My Business. You want to just click on Google Business Profile, get listed in Google. And from here, you should be able to sign into your Google account. And I will add that once you, when you're trying to make a Google My Business profile, you want to have a Google associated account. So Gmail typically works best with that, just so you're able to claim your business and update it and whatnot. So once you are in your profile, you want to go ahead and click Add Business. You want to add a single business, assuming that you have one location, one office, one address. So once you're in here, you want to type in the name of your business. This is important to do because sometimes Google will actually create a Google My Business profile for your business, and you have to go in and claim that. So oftentimes, if you type in your business name, it's already here in Google's system, but nobody has claimed it yet. So let's say my business was called, I don't know, Christian's Cupcakes, right? Let's say it's called that. If there isn't already a business called Christian's Cupcakes, if there isn't a business existing called Christian's Cupcakes, you can create one from scratch. But if there is one, you'll be able to go in there and claim it. And the claiming process works in a way where you will need to either have Google call the phone associated with your business, and you'll pick up the phone and Google will give you a 6-digit code. Or alternatively, what we've seen in the past is a postcard will be sent to your location by Google with a code on it, and you'll be able to get that code and type it into here, and Google will basically say, okay, yeah, you're legit, you own this business, here is full access to making all these changes and whatnot. So that's essentially the process. It's a pretty straightforward process once you really get on this platform. So all you have to do is go on Google, type in Google My Business, sign into a Gmail associated account, and from there you'll be able to claim your profile. Once your profile is claimed, you should be able to put your address in, fill in your contact information, and customize your profile from there, essentially. And we'll get more into the profile customization process.
I'll just have one quick addition, and that would be to make sure that when you do this, that you're doing it from a Gmail account that you are wanting to be associated with the business.
Yep.
So, many of us might have a Google account, our personal account, or a work account. So just make sure that whatever Google account you're signed into when you start this process is the one that you would like to be, accountable, I guess, for this business. Not I wouldn't want my personal email Google account, set up for the Google Global Reach one. So just, it's easy to miss, but it can cause kind of a mess of issues later. So.
Yeah, exactly. 100% echo that. So once you have your profile claimed, it doesn't really end there. It's kind of a continuous process of going to your profile, adding information, optimizing content and whatnot. So let's talk about how to, let's talk about maintaining a successful Google My Business profile. So let me go back to this little deck over here. So once this is set up, you want to look at, just the best practices for actually maintaining one. We just covered it, claiming your profile if you haven't already. The second one is pretty important, which is updating your information regularly. You want to do that because, people are constantly searching for businesses like yours or businesses in their area, and you want them to make sure that you have the relevant information when you're comparing yourselves to your competitors. So, like a great example is Memorial Day just passed, right? So let's say your business was open on Memorial Day. You want to make sure that you go into your business, your Google profile and say, hey, we were open on Memorial Day, or we are going to be open on Memorial Day. That will put your business ahead of other companies who haven't updated their profile at all, because someone will go on Google My Business and say, hey, these guys are definitely open on Memorial Day, but we don't know about these other profiles because there's no information on it. You're putting yourself above the rest of the pack when you're updating your profile. And just like other things that we've seen in the past are, when companies have moved locations, their address stays the same, and that guides people to the wrong location. You don't typically want to do that with consumers or customers. You don't want people to go to the wrong location. So make sure your address is up to date. Make sure your hours are up to date. I know hours have kind of changed for a lot of businesses in the last 2 years. So you want to make sure that your hours are always up to date. Because I know personally, it's frustrating when, a restaurant doesn't update their hours and you go there and it's closed and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that's up to date. And uploading content, images, videos, that's something that's important too, because if you don't upload videos or images, you don't really have anything on your profile. Some people may upload images for you, but that's unlikely given the nature of your business. If you're not like a restaurant or some sort of entertainment business, chances are people won't go out of their way to upload pictures of restaurants and that stuff. I personally take pictures of restaurants and upload it, but that's only because restaurants are fun, entertaining. If you're like more of a corporate entity or whatnot, you want to make sure you're uploading pictures. It could be anything. It could be pictures of the exterior, the interior. There are different categories in Google My Business that you can upload. You can upload team photos. You can upload your employees at work. There's just kind of a lot of categories you can choose for choosing content on your profile. And over here, we have it listed as ask for reviews. I would sort of restructure that in a way I'm saying this, but you don't want to ask for reviews straight up, but you want to, encourage reviews, like for us at Global Reach, in our email signatures, we have, hey, if you're satisfied with our services, leave us a Google review. You want to do something like that, because the more reviews you have on your page, the more rapport you build with the Google algorithm. And it just goes without saying that when you're searching for a business to work with, you will typically go for the ones with the better reviews and whatnot. And kind of tagging on to the whole review thing, you want to respond and interact with your reviews. When someone leaves a review, you want to respond and be like, hey, thank you for the review. We were glad to work with you. We were glad to have you. When you respond to your reviews and interact with your reviews, Google sees it as a plus, and that helps with, ranking above competitors in the Google My Business listing rankings. So you want to do that. Always just respond to reviews whenever someone leaves one. Even if reviews are negative, it's a great opportunity for you to, showcase your customer service. If someone leaves a 1 or 2 star review with a complaint, that's a good opportunity for you to, respond and show some goodwill and whatnot. So there's always opportunities to respond and kind of build your rapport with Google. This kind of goes, the next point kind of goes along with the update information regularly. Like, you just want to add relevant information whenever you can and whenever it's applicable. So like holiday hours and stuff like that, or if you're closed for a certain period of time, you want to make sure that's reflected on Google. And very lastly in this list, I would say look at your insights, because your insights give you great, great information as to how people are interacting with your profile. If more people are going to your website through Google My Business and they are your website, that's a sign to, focus more on Google My Business and, optimize your profile and whatnot. So looking at your insights gives you a great idea of numbers, or, if your numbers aren't doing as well, it's a pretty good inclination for you to, look at improving, what you can improve, what you can add. So that's what I would say are the best practices. There are some more that you can do, and there's always more that you can do, but these are just the main things that, we know in our experience. And also, if you have more best practices to add, please feel free to chime in. But this is
you really covered it. I guess it's hard to explain just in one slide the countless options that Google My Business gives you as far as differentiating your business. There's lots of I would say, what do I call these, value differentiators that they offer. So if you are a minority owned business, if you are woman owned, if you are there's all kinds of things that you can put. If you have special services for veterans, there's kind of all kinds of things that you can kind of add in that are really cool, that they don't it's hard to explain over one slide, but you can really personalize it. And I think that your personality can come out just as, easily through your Google My Business as it can through your website. And you are much more likely to be able to communicate how you are different than your competitors when you're in that stack of, business, 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 you really don't have that much space to say, this is why we're different. This is our value proposition. And so, because they're not going to go and click on, I mean, maybe they will. It depends how much research they're doing on the service that you offer, but they may go through every website of your competitors, or they may not. And they may just look at the small amount of information that you offer on your Google My Business profiles. And so any chance you can get to kind of stand out, take it. And especially for, I mean, even things like banks and attorneys. And I mean, we talk about this kind of in terms of like service-based, like restaurants and, you know, car repair and some of those places that seem very kind of service-based, but even some of those more business to business or things that seem less like you don't walk in and walk out with a product, right? So even some of those types of businesses are really appropriate for Google My Business and can still show value through it.
Yeah, and this is kind of the back end of your Google My Business profile. Yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot to go through here. So you have like your business categories. Like for us at Global Reach, we do websites, we do graphic design, we do digital marketing. So we made sure to put all these services in here. We have our address, we have our service areas. You know, if you are in an area that you serve, you know, multiple counties or multiple cities, this is a great area to put your counties or your cities in there. You know, in here you can choose states, you can choose cities, you can choose counties. So it really is a pretty awesome list of what you can choose. You know, the business hours are always an option for you to look at. And you also have a more hours section. You know, if you're a bank and your lobby has a different hours than your drive-through, this is a great place for you to put, you know, maybe your main lobby hours, and you can have your drive-through hours as well. Because I know a lot of banks have different hours for that from what I've seen. You know, we also have opportunities to, mark our businesses closed on certain days. So like, for Memorial Day, we were most recently closed. For 4th of July, we're going to be closed. So this is just you know, a pretty good feature for us to utilize. And we plan this ahead, so we know that, okay, when these holidays are coming up, we can rest assured that our Google My Business page will reflect those holidays as accurately as possible. You know, we have links for appointments. You know, if you do, you know, like virtual appointments, virtual care and stuff like that, you can have your appointment links in here. For us, we just have our contact us page. And, you know, if you do products, this is a great place to add your products in, and we'll show you guys that in a second. And like for services, you can add as many services as you want. You know, you can be as specific or as general as possible, but it just adds more content on your page. And down here, you just have a ton of attributes to choose from. You know, you can look at your accessibility. Do you have a wheelchair accessible entrance? You know, what amenities do you have? You know, like there's also a crowd feature that allows you to pinpoint like when your business is the most crowded at. Maybe this isn't super necessary if you're like a corporate business or like a, you know, more of a B2B business. But if you're a service and you offer services to the public, that could be a great place for you to look at your crowd things. So like you can tell people, hey, at 3 p.m. we're at our peak. Most people are here at 3 p.m. At, I don't know, at 10 p.m. no one's here. So you want to just make sure all that's in there. There's a health and safety area that allows you to look at, you know, our masks required in here, our temperature checks required here and whatnot.
Can you, Christian, can you click into some, like when it says amenities, can you add, like, what are they offering here? Okay, so that's an example of what I talked about earlier.
Yep.
And then, so that's more like your personality of your bit, like the, I guess, that's more about who owns it and kind of general amenities, but health. Okay, so they're letting you do all of these at once when you click one. Health, because we just saw health and safety there.
Yep. Okay, so yep, all at once.
Okay.
You have the ability to do a description. You have the ability to show when your business was opened. You know, for us, this is a great feature because we were open back in 1995, which is a great thing to tout. You know, hey, we've been here for a while. We've been doing this for a while, so it's something awesome to tout. You have the ability to add photos. You know, I know for us, we just had a bunch of photos. You know, not just of the office, but of the graphics we do, of the inside of our office, our team. You know, there's me right there. That's our team lunch and whatnot. So that's this is a great area for you to showcase the personality of your business, like Allison was saying. So that is pretty much what you can do with the information. There is a lot that you can change and update.
Do we want to show a little bit about like what the insights look like?
Oh yes,
that's really cool. There's a lot you can gather about your user base. So some of these, like for example, I loved looking at this. Of all the searches, of 552 people found our business, through Google My Business, right? So then I think this is monthly. Yeah, is that what we're looking at?
Yep, this is monthly.
Okay. Yeah, so you can change that week, quarter, whatever. So the direct discovery and branded are really interesting. So the direct are people, like it says right there, who find your business for searching you by name or by address. Branded, similarly, it's for if someone searched for, I guess, web hosting. They might find global reach through web hosting. And then discovery really is what I always tell people. You want to see at least 60% of your traffic. Even preferably like 75% of your traffic should be discovery traffic, which is people searching for they're searching for what you offer without searching for you by name. Because if they're searching for you by name, you've already captured that user, right? Yep. So searching in discovery, it's just good to get a look here and say, okay, I'd like to see our discovery number a little higher here. But I think that maybe it's just meaning that more people are searching for us by name or for directions, things like that. But anyways, what else are we looking at here? We have obviously the number of views, how many people looked at us on Google Maps versus on the search results. You can see visits to websites, request directions, and calls.
Yep.
I think there's also an option. Visits to the website right now for us would be the contact form, I think is how we have that set up. Photo views, photo quantity. Yeah, so you can kind of get a gauge for. I think there's also ways in here that you can see what type of device people are looking at you on. So if you have, sometimes I'm not sure where it is here in this. Did you see it, Christian?
No, I'm not too sure where that is, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's sometimes you'll get an insight that'll say, 50% of your, 50% of your people are coming through a tablet and 25% through a phone. And, okay, now I got to do math here. It's another 25% through their computer. So we go, okay, well, if the website is really designed for desktop, but 75% of the traffic is coming through a mobile device, well, maybe we need to retake a look at the website and make sure that it's mobile friendly. If you're here, you're probably using SiteViz, which you're in good hands. It's mobile friendly, but not always. There's definitely website platforms that are not, and we run into that all the time with digital marketing clients, that they find out, oh my gosh, 80% of my client or 80% of my users are coming to my website through mobile, and the mobile version is not eloquent the way that the desktop version is. So anyways, there's all kinds of things you can gather through here. So yeah, sorry, that was all I had to add about that, the insights.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm glad I got to go through insights. And and since we have our best practices down, we want to kind of go through examples of good, like good profiles and bad profiles. Well, not bad profiles, but profiles that could be improved. Let's put it that way. So we have a good example and a bad example. So you can see in like good examples, you have your images added, you have your hours fully updated, you have your phone number in there, you have the extensions that you can use. So if you have products, this is a great place to put your products in. And in contrast, you have certain businesses where you don't have photos, so Google gives you the default map view of your business, which may not always be accurate. And you have your business hours, you have you don't have business hours here, you don't have a website added, so people can't really go to your website. And people can call you, but that's kind of the only option they have to contact you without physically going to your location. And in situations, it's asking you it's asking you if you know this place, which means that there isn't as much information on here as Google wants. There are no Q&As for you to look at. That's something else we didn't touch on, but you could have Q&As, questions and answers on your profile, which is a really awesome tool for you to like put some keywords in there and just put some content on your page. So this is just one example of a good and bad example. Like Alison, I think you mentioned having some other examples. Do you want to go through those as well? Or
yeah, let me share my screen here. All right, let's pull them up, shall we? All right, so I've got 2 great examples and 2 examples that maybe could use some work. So this is an example of a good, we managed this one, but it is good. So you've got all the critical information, you've got all your hours, you've got you can, this is what I'm talking about with the user input. You can, oh, I clicked it on accident. Will you receive a notification if someone leaves a question or comment? Yes. So that will go to the email that you confirm the business with. So that's why I said earlier, it's important to make sure it's a business email, or that you're at least monitoring it, because they'll send you a thing that says someone left you a review or someone inputted, that you do roofing, and you need to go, yeah, we do that, or no, we don't. So for this business, I know their hours, so I can actually say that these are correct. And I can go through here as a user and submit. And Google says, thanks, this is, making things more accurate. Done. So again, this is the popular time. So if I want to look at, let's say I want to make a dentist appointment on Tuesday. Okay, well, looks like 8 a.m. in the mornings when it's most busy, and then kind of another peak around lunch. So, and then again, same thing with the questions and answers. This is a great example of, in the question and answer, this guy, Jeremy, asks, do you accept American Group Insurance? Well, they don't, but, they still, instead of just ignoring this, they took the time to respond. And so, we don't, but you should call your person and ask, where you can find a provider that does, right? And really, that's great business practice, because, they're losing this guy because he's not going to come if they don't take his insurance, but they're kind of still building goodwill by being responsive. So anyways, and yeah, in addition to reviews, you can do all kinds of things. You can respond to your reviews. You can people see other, on the bottom here, it'll have like web results, which are basically just other pages on your business. So your contact us page here, your meet our team, cosmetic, this is their homepage. So you can see all the different pages. Same thing here. So that's a dentist in town. Here is, oh dear, put that back. Here is, sorry, an auto repair shop. Same thing. I don't know why this says menu, but that's going to be their services. They've got lots of locations. This is like a chain. So they've got lots of locations. And the nice thing is in Google My Business, you can actually group. We looked at a little bit earlier at the managerial view. And what you can actually do is group your businesses together. So, for example, if you had this client might have a location in Ankeny, in Waukee, in Des Moines, Altoona, and Ames. And then you can kind of have all of those, each of those physical buildings. If it has a building, it can have a Google My Business, essentially, is the rule. And so that's kind of where, I guess not even a building, if it has a physical location. And so you can kind of group all of these together, and that's how you can get kind of franchise things. So they've added all these things in here. These are posts. So from the owner, we can go in and look at their posts, their photos. You can see the inside by the owner. Street view, more questions here that you can see that they, looks like someone else answered this question for them, but they can respond. Go back. So yeah, this is just a good example. They've got all their information. Here's another, I'll show you another view. So this is on the Google Maps. Like if someone clicks it on the search results page and then they say, more information or view this business, it'll bring you here. Another way that you can view the business is just on Google. So this is when you see this kind of list setting, or this list layout. This is an example of a Walmart Auto Care Center that is not updating their business. So for example, I live in Ames. I know this Walmart. I know that they are no longer requiring masks, and so here we have they have masks required when they don't require masks. So that's a good example. If you have a specific, this is the phone number for the actual Walmart instead of the auto department. So that's incorrect. They have questions, which you can see they have questions that are just unanswered. This is really these local guides. Christian won't tell you this, but Christian's actually a local guide. He's got a star like this by his profile. So he's helping people find what they need, just like Hugo and John here answering questions. But really people want to see from the business, because you can trust a user, but really you want to hear it from the source. So bad business practice, obviously it's a Walmart. So what can you expect for them to be managing so many locations? But yeah, and then here's what that looks like. Same thing here. This is their directions, and then all kinds of things. I can ask the community, or I can ask directly to the business, and then I'll get an email when someone answers my question. Same thing with this hair salon. This is an example of a hair salon in Des Moines. Not doing so hot. They don't even have a website linked here. They've got 1 star. They don't have any hours, no information. I mean, really, and it hasn't been claimed. So when it says own this, do you own this business? It's asking me, hello, does anyone own this business? And no one has claimed this on Google. And so it's just kind of floating out here. And Google Maps recognizes that it exists, and it's called, Tivoli Hair Salon. But other than that, it's really not going off of anything. So that's kind of an example of, and then here it is on Google Maps. You can see they've got the location. They're again really trying to get someone to please just claim this business, and then add all of the information, add your hours, add your website. We've got a phone number here. That's helpful, but other than that, there's really nothing. And only 1 poor review. Never seen anyone in there. Well, maybe this is a ghost business. We sometimes see that they go to the business graveyard and forget to go into Google My Business and hit, remove this listing, and this business no longer exists, which is a very good practice. So if any of you ever, for any reason, disband your business or something falls through, unfortunately, then you should, it's a good business practice to always go in and hit, remove this listing. This business is no longer open. So that people aren't calling and, you can maintain some of your good name even after death, after business death. All right. I think that is all that I had. I can pull this down. And then if anyone has any questions about this, or if anyone, whether it's about what kinds of stuff you can put on your business, we do this every day with clients. So we should be able to help. Or if Christian, you had anything else you wanted to add?
No, I was going to open the floor to questions as well. So we're happy to field any questions regarding, the contents that we've gone through today.
Yeah, feel free to drop it in the chat too, if that's easier.
Yeah.
I've got one from Kim. How do you go about increasing your direct visitors? So direct visitors would be someone who knows who you are. So brand awareness or business awareness, I guess, visibility. As brand awareness goes up, or actually it's brand recall. As recall goes up, your visitors should go up too. So that's typically to increase your direct visitors would mean that you would need more people to know about your business and be searching for you by name. And you can do that through a number of ways. And you can do that by ads. You can do that by a reference campaign. So like sometimes we'll see direct, discovery. Okay. Yep. So discovery, discovery is, I think, about having the right keywords. So some of you may know that we do SEO work, search engine optimization, which is making sure that the content on your website matches what someone would search. So for us, for Global Reach, we want to have words like website hosting and website design and marketing and advertising and all these things that we do. And then hopefully when someone types in some of those words, Google will actually take the website that is, when you create your business profile, you hook a website to it, and Google will read that website, they crawl all the pages, and it'll go, oh, I think this business is the best match for what this person has searched. So it really boils down to the content of your website. And then also, I mean, from a Google My Business perspective, making sure that your services have the thing that the person is going to type into their search bar. So if you're a bank and you do personal loans or business loans, you might want to type, small business loans into your services, and then that can make you more improve your visibility and you'll increase then in turn your discovery traffic. I hope that answers that question. Do you think that, Christian?
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that's true.
Do you want to answer that next one? How are hours updated? How long does it take?
Right. So hours are updated. So after you do that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Allison, it goes through a couple days process of verification. So after you change those hours, so it may take, from what I see, it takes about maybe 3 days or so for your hours to become finalized and showing on your Google My Business profile. So that's probably what I'd say. Sometimes it may take longer if you have like multiple users going into your profile and giving different hours. So if you have just random people online going to your business and changing the hours and saying, hey, no, this place actually opens at 8, and someone else is saying it opens at 9, someone's saying it opens at 10. That's when it starts getting complicated and the process gets very elongated to verify those hours. But if it's just you making those changes, which is most likely, it probably shouldn't take more than 3 days.
Yeah, most changes I think take about some of them are, posts, for example. You can post or answer to respond to a review and it'll go instantly. And then there's other, some of that core information like your phone number, your website, your directions, some of the hours, some of those things take longer to verify, but they're not difficult. So one issue we do run into sometimes is that people want to change their location and or they want to claim this business, but the phone number that is associated with the business they don't have access to, right? That's a pretty common issue. And we go about handling that by sending a postcard. So if you know the location, what happens is we say, hey, we want to claim this business. So someone set this business up with their personal phone number, and then they quit and we don't have access to it, and there's all this mess. And so we can send this postcard, and then it has a code on it that says Global Reach, your Google My Business confirmation code is 1234, and so we put into the thing 1234, and it says, okay, now you can have access to manage and everything. And so there's workarounds for things like that. That really had nothing to do with your question, but that it's still relevant.
It was a tack on. All right.
Any other questions just about how we can use this? Or, if you guys have anything specific to your business that you're curious about, we can always take a look at any of your, if you drop the name of your business, if you're so bold, we can see what you're looking at on Google My Business. First State Bank. Kim is bold. Let's do it. Let's share my screen. Okay. So First State Bank. All right. So it looks like right off the bat, I haven't even clicked anything yet. We have a couple different locations, but we're going to hit enter here. Okay. I know that there's many First State Banks, but we're going to find, let's see. Kim, let us know. Oh, here we go. And Town and Country Insurance. We have 7 locations. Okay, so Kim, is this Webster City location? I think this would be them. Yeah. We monitor this. Okay, so this one, you've got drive-through, you've got your hours. I would suggest adding, I can suggest and edit. Nope, not going to do that. Oh, I can, other details. Can I suggest that you add in your drive-through hours? I don't know if I can suggest drive-through hours. Anyways, so, but if you could do that, if when you go in, we manage this, but when you can go in, we've got all your services, questions. Are you going to be open on December 26th? Well, this is likely not from recently, but we would want to respond. That's a good example of here. One thing you can do, Kim, is you can update your information in bulk. So you have many locations, and I can't see my chat in case. Sorry, I can't see my chat.
I'll let you know if anything comes through.
Thank you. So you have lots of locations. So one thing you can do is actually update your information and apply it to multiple locations. So for example, if you know that none of your locations are going to be open on December 26th, then great. Just go in there and add that as your date. Same thing with, let's view, they're calling these products, but you got business loans, business checking. These are stock photos, which is totally fine. There's not really a picture of a loan, I suppose, but it's really good that you have all these in here. The phone number, I would make sure that that's correct. Let's see what these reviews are saying. We can maybe respond. This is good. Response from the owner, Elizabeth. We really appreciate it. This is great. This is a really good example of someone's not happy about something. Great. That happens. Let's just talk to them, privately. This local guide, Aaron, fast, friendly. Great. And even responding to the good ones. I think there's sometimes that, like, oh, you have to respond to the bad ones, but leave the good ones just willy-nilly. No, respond to the good ones and, thank them for just let them know that you're glad that you had an experience. So kind of just even building that like responsive, like, oh, you are responsive, you're attentive to your business. Let's look at Town and Country. Here we go. Town and Country Insurance, Webster City. All right. Insurance agency in Webster City, Iowa. Same thing. I might even add in here, I guess you have these hours. That probably looks correct. On-site services, no online appointments. Okay, so we've got 2 different service options. That's helpful. Similar products. Okay, so this is a summary. So you can actually add almost like a biography or a about us statement. So 7 locations throughout Central Iowa. So they've got all of this here. This is actually, so someone asked, I think it was Kim even asked about discovery traffic. This content, Google reads that. And so if someone searches for farm and crop insurance and you have the words farm and crop insurance in your content here, in your just business description, they're going to see that and go, oh, someone searched that. This Town and Country Insurance does farm and crop insurance. We're going to match them and put it higher up. So you'll improve your visibility. I can report this, I think, if you're saying something nasty, but it doesn't seem that way. Yeah, these look really good. I mean, and another hard thing we see is businesses that just struggle to get reviews at all. 32 reviews is really good. it's hard sometimes to get reviews because it's an awkward thing to ask for. Or like Christian talked about earlier, it's a hard thing to know how to put that in front of the user. So let me show something. Let's go in here and I'll show you a cool little trick here. So let's go, let's find which, is it down there? Okay, let's just pick global reach here. So one thing you can do is you can go in and grab your review form. Okay, so get more reviews. So right here, once you're managing your business, you can share your business profile. So if you wanted to, like, I mean, some of you may have links to your social media in your email signature or on your website. You can certainly add this link, share your business profile at the bottom with a Google, I don't know, some Google icon. This really, the share review form is really helpful. So this little link, let's say I wanted to share it to Facebook. This is a funny picture of our, okay, so they're pulling this photo from our Google My Business photos. And this is a costume party that we had at Global Reach. That's why we look very silly. But so you can post this and it'll lead them to here. You can do it on, yeah, leave. I'm not going to post that. You can grab this link and it'll lead them to here. It's really handy. It should just pop up this little box. Okay, so as long as someone is logged into Google when you share this link with them, it'll bring this right up. So all they have to do is click, 5 stars, and then they're, what they, I mean, I'm Global Reach, so I'm not going to post Global Reach is awesome as Global Reach, but if I was a client, we would love for you guys to say something here, and this is a good thing as far as like, yes, please discard, how appropriate it is. It's appropriate to send Google My Business to, I like to send these maybe like after I have a really good interaction with someone, like, hey, I'm really glad that we were able to resolve this issue for you. Like, if you have a second, I'd love to hear more about like the quality of our service, or you can kind of like sneak it in there afterwards. Yep. That's a good, instead of sending a mass email like, hello everyone, we desperately need reviews, someone send us, so there's tactful ways to do that. Oh, awesome. Town and Country has a process in place for receiving incentives. First State Bank does not. Okay, so maybe then First State Bank would actually benefit more from sending out that review form. All right, I'm gonna stop presenting here.